Good morning, everybody. You are listening to 89.1 FM WXVU Villanova Student Run Radio, The Roar. Happy December 12th, 2022. What a great day to talk about sports. As always, you're listening to Fun in the Locker Room this time every Monday. I know you set your calendars and your alarms and your reminders to come on and listen to this show, and we appreciate that. We appreciate all of you guys, all the thousands across the nation that are listening to us right now. Truly appreciate it. As always, we have a lot to talk about today. This is our last show of the semester, so we definitely want to make it a good one. We have some MLB to talk about, some NFL, a lot of NFL, as always. We could go on for hours talking about the NFL. We have some MLB, a lot of moves were made the other day. We'll talk about Xander Bogaerts, Judge. I think we talked about Verlander, but we'll talk about Steve Cohen and the huge kahunas that he has. And then a lot of NBA we got to get into. Zion Williamson and the Pelicans sit at first in the NBA standings in the West. The Celtics look unbeatable except by a man named Stephen Curry, and we'll get into all of that. As always, we have our takeaways from this weekend, but before that, shameless plugs. Go to the Twitter, Fun in the Locker Room Twitter. Go to the YouTube, Fun in the Locker Room YouTube, and listen to all of our takes and listen to all of Sean's great Monday Night Football picks as he is projected to probably win again this year, and I'm projected to probably come in third again this year. As always, Sean Rankel, Liam Holloway, Truett Carstetter. Let's get into our takeaways and overreactions from this weekend. Jam-packed weekend of football. Sean, what do you got?
I just want to start off the show by talking a little bit about the Giants and the fact that they came in with no expectations this season. They have no skill position players. If you saw their wide receiver, cornerback depth charts, they're absolutely atrocious because of injuries.
No skill, yeah.
No skill.
Keep going.
But somehow they are 7-5-1. They are a win away from being 500 this season, which in my mind is a big success. And next week, the Giants will be playing in their Super Bowl of the season. Giants Commanders, Sunday Night Football. Giants look bad this week against the Eagles, but we're obviously not going to beat the Eagles. We're just not that good of a team. But we just need to find a way, and if they can beat the Commanders, then our playoff odds go from 30% to 88%. And if we can somehow make a playoffs this season after looking like there's no skill in this team. So I'm really excited for this week. Trying to keep my expectations managed, but I think we can keep this game close. I think we can find a way to win this game against Commanders.
You said no skill in this team. Who was the Giants' best player?
Saquon.
I think that's some skill.
Yeah, you want to hear the wide receiver depth chart?
Yeah.
I really
Darius
don't
Slade,
I don't really want to hear
Isaiah
that.
Hodgins,
Yeah.
Richie James.
Who?
Yes.
Do you miss Kadarius Toney? I'm not trying to be like a jerk here, but
If he was healthy on the field, yes, but he hasn't played all year. He's not even playing for the Chiefs. He still hurt the Chiefs.
He didn't do anything, so like.
what was the injury?
He's just got a hamstring injury that's bothered him for years. Like, I don't know. I don't think anything. He's got nothing. Then after that's Marcus Johnson, Davis Sills. Like, come on now.
I've never heard of any of those.
And our
players.
cornerbacks, Doris Jackson's been hurt, so we have our cornerbacks are now Fabian Moreau, Nick McLeod, Cordell Floaty, and Tony Jefferson. Like
Tony Jefferson, like the safety Tony Jefferson.
yes,
I feel like you're just naming off like random NFL players.
exactly. The fact that we're like 7-5-1, like I don't know, it's a huge success to me. That we have nothing, and that we are
You attribute it
team.
to culture and coaching. Is that like a
The fact that we're 7-5-1, yeah. Because last year, Dave Gettleman might be the worst general manager in all of sports, and he left us with a terrible cap situation and no talent. And huge credit to Joe Shane coming in here and fixing this problem that next year, coming into this offseason, we now have cap space and things to do with it. So next year is the second year of the rebuild, and we're going to get better. But it's really impressive this year what Brian Dable's been able to do with this lack of anything.
Rank. So is the season just over?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
or is it just this game and then,
if we win it, then we're a playoff team.
yeah. if you lose, season's done. You think?
Yeah. If we don't win this game,
Okay.
we're not making the playoffs.
All right, Liam, what's your take?
It's not really a hot take. I think there's only 4 teams that are competing for the Super Bowl this season. 3
are
out of
they?
the AFC: Bills, Chiefs, Bengals, and then the Eagles are the 4 teams. I can't see anybody else really.
Say that one more time.
Bills,
Chiefs,
Bengals out of the AFC.
Yep.
Eagles out of the NFC.
That's it. So you're pretty much putting a lock on the Eagles making it out of the NFC.
Yes.
Really?
I had it. And I'm sure we'll talk about this later in the show.
Yeah.
We'll talk about our before the season picks, but pretty confident in my pick.
I'm with you there. I think the NFC has been disgustingly uncompetitive.
No, they're not uncompetitive. They're very competitive. They're just competitively average.
I think there's
correct. Yeah, let me rephrase that. They've been disgustingly and painfully underwhelming.
Yeah.
That's a great way to describe it. I think there's teams that have been doing well in the NFC, but I don't think they're for real. And we'll get into that later.
Okay, solid take. My take is just it's a simple shout out. Might not be appreciated, but shout out Baker Mayfield for the Thursday night game. The Rams were on a 6-game losing streak, which is just abysmal and just kind of summarizes their season. And then the Raiders. We all know what the Raiders. They've had pretty terrible season when it comes to blowing leads. But shout out Baker Mayfield. He came there. He had to play on a short week and start. He didn't even know where his locker room was. I don't know if it was before the game or halftime or afterwards.
Yeah.
He had to ask someone where is the locker room. Like he literally had been there for like 4 days. And if you had watched the game, it looks like he's known this playbook for like 2 years at this point. Like he just came in, knew where his receivers were going to go. And I like if this is a Baker Mayfield that has feels like he needs he has a lot to prove, which he does, and he really wants to kind of fix his reputation and show that he can be a QB that results in wins. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not going to speculate like what his long-term future is for the Rams. They have Stafford, but he's probably going to play the rest of the year on a season where they're not really playing for anything anymore. But I don't know. It was just kind of a feel-good story for me. I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
Was it 98-yard touchdown drive? Yeah,
absolutely insane.
Yeah, good for him. I'm happy for him.
The game sucked all day, and then
that was a garbage game. And
yeah.
Shout out to the Raiders for blowing another lead, choking away another win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Shout out to the Raiders. Shout out to Devontae Adams. I hope you get out of there soon, man, because you are just absolutely balling. And God, Derek Carr is just. We have to assume that McDaniels gets fired, right?
Yeah, 100%.
100%. I don't think so.
He's got to
You don't
go.
think so?
I think his contract's just too big.
How can he not be fired? Is it
1 year.
purely-
It's very rare that a head coach gets 1 year and gets fired.
It's just like that Raiders team should have been a playoff lock, and they're not. Not even close.
They've now lost to an ESPN analyst on the 3 days implementing a playbook, and now a quarterback coming in and learning a playbook in 3 days.
Yeah, it's
Pathetic.
Oh, my heart goes out to Raiders fans. But, there's always next year. What games do we want to talk about first? A lot of good games to talk about.
I want to talk about the 49ers and the Bucks for a little bit.
Okay.
I think this game highlighted two things. First, the Buccaneers, man. I wish no teams could make it from that division. No teams deserve to make the playoffs from the NFC South. Buccaneers stink. They're not good. On the flip side, 49ers have some really good players, but it's looking right now that I could step in at quarterback, and I think the team would do great. What do you guys think?
The Niners are a really solid team, and I think we've known this for a while. And Brock Purdy's played really well. He played how he should have played.
Let me interrupt you for 1 second. Liam, you're trying to get Rank to say something. Why don't you just ask him the question?
Jimmy G is a fraud, Rank. Admit it.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant coming in. He's been playing better than Jimmy G has all season in 2 games.
I think what Liam's trying to say is that he wants you to admit that Jimmy G's value to the team and replaceability, if that's a real word, it has been overstated.
But Trey Lance came in and did terrible.
For
but
what?
Brock
Like
Purdy is
was
also Mr. Irrelevant.
do terrible for like a quarter, and then he got hurt or something like that?
Okay, obviously, this 49ers team is really well built. They play really well together, and you don't need a great quarterback to win this. I don't think I ever said Jimmy Garoppolo's a great quarterback. He's better than Brock Purdy. You're giving him one game against, you just said, Liam, the Buccaneers are absolutely terrible.
Well, 2 games now. Brock Purdy has 2 wins.
1.5 games.
Oh, yeah.
1.5.
Okay, 1.5. Yeah.
I give him credit. He's the first quarterback to have his first start against Tom Brady and beat Tom Brady. First one ever. Congratulations to him.
It also says a lot about Tom Brady.
Yeah, the Tom Brady's just falling off. But I don't know. Brock Purdy played really well. Jimmy Garoppolo, yes, is probably replaceable by a lot of quarterbacks in the league, but he always finds a way to win it.
That's all I wanted to hear.
Mm-hmm. And because of how the NFC is looking, I really hope the Niners go to the Super Bowl.
I just don't get it. Like, they're in your conference,
But they're not the Eagles or the Cowboys.
They could play the Giants. Would you be rooting for the?
No, I'd be rooting for the
Niners
Giants, obviously.
What a dumb question is that?
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, the way he talks about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
if the Ravens and the Saints played, Liam, like how you feel about that?
If the Saints make the Super Bowl, I'll jump out the window right now. Yeah. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
I mean, the Niners, I thought the Seahawks had a chance to win the division when Jimmy G went out. But after this win, I mean, just in dominating fashion against Tom Brady and the Bucs, who, by the way, are under 500 and still first in that division. It's looking like it's pretty implausible, and we play the Niners next week, and I think we'd have to win out to win the division. And as Rank and I were discussing before the show, I think our expectations I guess our expectations are now aligned. I've kind of given up the I've left the fantasy land and returned to reality that the Seahawks are not going to win the division, especially after this game. Just a bad game versus a Panthers team that, Sam Darnold. But I think that it's really going to be the Giants, Commanders, and Seahawks competing for 2 spots. And, let's talk about that. Let's go around and predictions for which 2 of the 3 are going to make it. I know one of yours, obviously.
It's good.
Right now, the Seahawks are on the outside looking in. The Cowboys are the 5 spot, and they don't look like they're going to lose that. Right, Commanders, Giants are 6 and 7. So it's really those 3 teams. One of them is going to be looking from the outside in.
It's going to get interesting down the stretch because obviously you've never seen it before that 4 teams from the same division made the playoffs because that's never possible for. But as we discussed before the show, the Giants Commanders play this week. Commanders Seahawks also play later this time. So there's a scenario that Giants beat the Commanders beat the Seahawks, and you can get both NFC East teams in there. To be honest, looking at the Seahawks and how the Giants Commanders have had a tough stretch down the stretch because we're playing a lot of division games. The Seahawks have choked away a bunch of winnable games down the stretch. If you asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have said there's no chance both Giants Commanders get in. I said the Seahawks were a lock and it's down to Giants Commanders. But the Seahawks are concerning me with all these close losses to bad teams.
I would say choked. I'd say underperformed. It's not like they're choking wins. They're just not coming out of the gates looking good against the Panthers.
And now Thursday night you play the Niners, who they're a great team. Obviously you're playing Seattle, so that gives you an advantage there. But
on a short week too, this is going to really define our season right here. If we can win this game, my confidence in them making the playoffs goes up. Well, not only statistically it skyrockets, but my confidence in them and the momentum they're going to have is skyrockets as well.
Your next 2 weeks are
Chiefs, right?
No, it's the
Jets,
Chiefs,
Niners, Commanders, Chiefs, Jets, I think, or Jets, Chiefs.
Niners, Chiefs.
Yeah, we got the
Jets,
Rams again. Yeah,
they don't play the Commanders.
have we played the Cardinals already
Yeah, I
twice?
thought they were-
Yes.
Okay, so I mean Rams. I was gonna say it was a W, but it was pretty close the other day or the other week.
No, Liam, they play the Niners. Never mind. Sorry.
So I mean, we have to chalk up the Chiefs. It's gonna be a loss. I think the 2 pivotal games,
Jets, Niners, right?
is Jets Niners.
Yeah.
And then the Commanders, because that's probably going to help our chances and hurt their chances at the same time. It's really going to be those 3 games. If we can win 2 of the 3, and
Niners,
if we
Chiefs,
had
Jets,
to
Rams.
win, I would prefer we win the one versus the Commanders.
You play the
guys don't
Commanders.
play the
We
Commanders.
realized that's wrong. You play the Chiefs,
Oh.
Niners, Chiefs, Jets, Rams.
I don't know why I thought that. I thought I saw that somewhere too. Niners, Chiefs, Jets, Rams.
That Rams game is gonna be pivotal.
Yeah.
You need to hope because of the Commanders and Giants tie. I think you lose Chiefs. Jets Rams game is going to come down to. It's coming down to the last games of the year, and I think I personally think the Giants Commanders are going to get in because we play the Seahawks. We play the Eagles last game of the year, and the Eagles are not going to be playing for anything.
Yeah. Best case scenario, we go 3-1 in those 4. Worst case scenario, we go 1-3.
You go 0-4.
Well, I think we'll beat the Rams. I think we're not.
Wasn't it last year that you guys played the Rams last game of the year and you lost to them or you beat them?
That was also Russell Wilson.
I know
the fraud.
Yeah, but
They beat them, and that's why the Saints didn't get into the playoffs.
yeah.
Oh, that you beat us.
No. Yeah, you guys beat the Rams, and that's why the Saints didn't get in, because the Niners got the last spot or something.
A divisional Seahawks Rams game, it's always going to be competitive.
Yeah. Okay, so worst case scenario is 0-4.
Yeah. I think this week's going to be pivotal. Giants Commanders.
100%, yeah.
I think the Giants beat the Commanders, then it's got a chance for the NFC to get both.
Liam, who do you think out of those 3 makes it?
So, the Commanders are playing at home against the Giants.
Yeah. And then they play the Niners, Browns, and Cowboys.
I could see... Wow. That's tough, because they're probably going to go 2-2, assuming one of their wins is the Giants. If the Giants lose to the Commanders, they essentially have to win out versus the Vikings, Colts, Eagles, which that's not going to happen. If the Vikings are as good as you guys have been saying all season, there's going to be some problems.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Eagles, that last game, I mean, if they're resting everyone, you guys are going to win. But I don't know if they're going to do that if there's playoff implications on the line, because it
wouldn't impact them.
Well, you don't want a situation ever where you play a team 3 times in one season. You never want that to happen, because it's basically impossible to be the same team 3 times in a season, no matter what.
And make you lose to them in the regular season, so you don't have to play it.
Exactly. Well, maybe you beat them to ensure that they don't get in. I don't know. I'm going to go... honestly, I think I could see both NFC East teams in there.
Low key, just as a crazy thing that's happening that I know I had a hot take earlier this year that teams make the playoffs. The Detroit Lions are sneakily getting in there. They're now 6-7, and they're stretched down the stretches. Jets, Panthers, Bears, Packers.
They could win out.
They could win out, go 10-7. They win out, they're in the playoffs.
That would be crazy.
Absolutely nuts, but they have it. Like, that stretch is obviously the Panthers beat the Seahawks and they're a decent team, but Bears, Packers, Jets, like, those are all winnable games. A lot easier than the Giants, Commanders, Seahawks schedules are.
I had not thought about that, and you're scaring me, Rank.
I know.
You're scaring me, man. It's going to be an exciting end to the season in the NFC and in the AFC. Liam, let's talk about Ravens Steelers.
Yeah. So,
started J.K. Dobbins this week. Picked him up, started him. Essentially won me a playoff spot in fantasy.
yeah, so basically, Lamar was out this week. The Ravens defense came to play. And, I don't think there's been a team criticized by you two more than the Ravens this season for being 9-4. 9-4. They're tied. Actually, they have the tiebreaker over the Cincinnati Bengals.
Wait.
And week after week, they get absolutely zero recognition from you guys. So yeah, I want to hear what you guys have to say about.
We criticized the Ravens team. Have you not been talking all year about how Lamar Jackson's the only thing good about this team and how terrible the Ravens team is minus Lamar Jackson? And then wait, 2 games, no Lamar Jackson, 2 wins.
1.5.
Maybe this Ravens team is not as reliant on Lamar Jackson as you think they are. You should be apologizing.
Are you serious? The defense had 3 picks for the first time this whole season, the first time they played well, and it was versus the bummy Steelers. Mitch Trubisky was playing because Pickett got hurt.
All I gotta say, Liam, is you talked all year about how bad this Ravens team is, and you also apologize to the Ravens. Lamar's not even playing. I can't even apologize to Lamar.
Okay. The Ravens have the same record as who? Bengals?
Mm-hmm.
Niners.
Yeah.
Two teams that
You haven't been saying, Liam, that the Ravens are good. You've been saying Lamar Jackson is good in carrying this team. So why am I going to apologize to the Ravens team now when Lamar's not even playing?
Listen, they got a great win. They're top of that division. I just think that, you haven't given them props all season. I think it's
Neither
time
have
to give
you.
them props. What do you mean I have?
You gave Lamar props, not the Ravens props.
I've been riding for him.
Truett.
I've been riding for him.
No, I'm staying out of this. I'm gonna let you guys do this. I'm staying out.
Okay, then let's switch to Vikings Lions. I want an apology for that. I've been calling the Vikings frauds all year, and they just got smoked by the Lions. Smoked.
Okay.
Embarrassing loss.
Difference between that and the Ravens is that for most of the season I was on that same page that they were frauds, and then they had a couple good games, and I my soft side came out, and I felt a little.
He wasn't.
I think the entire NFC is frauds. Other than the Eagles and Cowboys, even the Cowboys almost lost.
Almost lost. We didn't use that when the Vikings almost lost to every single team on their schedule. That didn't matter. But now the Cowboys almost lose to the Texans, it matters. I just want some parity. I don't think the Vikings are a very good team. I think they have weapons. They have Justin Jefferson.
I think they're going to host a playoff game,
They're going to be a 2 seed.
and so they're going to get what seed?
2.
No, but what seed are they going to host?
Oh, they'll play
6?
7.
7.
7.
They are primed.
So it's probably going to be.
Giants, Commanders, Seahawks.
Yeah.
They're
Lions.
primed to be upset in that first
Would you
round of
take
playoffs.
which of those three teams could upset the Vikings?
All of them.
Wow.
Every single
Wow.
one. I could see any single one beating them. I don't think the Vikings are a good team. They haven't had good wins this season. They beat the Bills. That was it.
And they've had bad losses too.
They've had if you look at the Lions schedule this season versus the Vikings, the Lions have been on the bad end of very close games.
Yeah.
The Vikings have been on the good end of very close games. This could have been a season where the Lions and the Vikings flip flop. It's not that crazy to say. I really don't think so.
I think the problem in this game was that the Vikings did not give Dalvin Cook the ball enough. Kirk Cousins had 425 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Crazy.
Justin Jefferson had 220 receiving yards.
I mean, he's good. He's top 3. Like he's gonna. You think he's one?
It's him and Tyreek, Devontae Adams. Those 3.
What about who's the one? I guess I was gonna say Jamar, but I went throw Jamar.
No, because Jamar's been hurt too.
I'm
Not
thinking
this
of someone else, dude.
I think it's Justin Jefferson, Tyreek, and Devontae Adams in that order.
Yeah, and maybe throw in AJ Brown's been really good.
AJ Brown's been balling, but I mean, the Vikings have not shown me a single time this season that they're, for real.
They have the skill position players, Liam. They have the talent there. I think they can find ways to win the playoffs. I don't know. I don't
know, because losses like this and that terrible
exactly.
loss versus the Cowboys, that doesn't really,
Most teams have bad losses.
They
so far this year.
barely snuck by. They beat the Patriots on a kickoff return. Barely beat the Jets. I could go down the whole list of their season.
Every team has bad losses.
They haven't had good wins.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's why they don't really.
Say
I don't
about the
think they're gonna
Cowboys.
show
The
up.
Cowboys don't have a good win either.
Yeah, I think. Well, they do over the Vikings, 40-3.
Okay, one
Yeah.
win. The Vikings aren't that good, so it's not a good win.
I mean, you beat anybody 40-3.
Real quickly before we go
It's tough
into
to
our AFC, NFC Super Bowl picks, because it is our last show before break. The Chargers, real quickly. They are the definition of playing up to their opponent and playing down to their opponent. Because, my God, did Justin Herbert look amazing last night against the Miami Dolphins.
Also, I want to throw in a stat before you continue this about Justin Herbert. You guys might have seen it. It was on Instagram. Because we always talk about, Burrow and Mahomes and maybe trying to throw Herbert into that convo. What? What are you looking at me?
I think that topic's just ridiculous. But.
No, but I just want to. I saw the stat: most passing yards for the first 3 years. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It was him and Andrew Luck had like 12,000 something. And you don't see Mahomes and Burrow there.
Well, you want to know why It's because Chargers just don't run the ball.
that's
Instead of running the
that
ball,
is exactly
it's a check down to Eckler.
And it's not even like I was about to say, well, they don't have Mixon or Edwards-Helaire, but they have Austin Eckler. Like,
They just
so
don't run it.
Every stat needs a little bit of context, but I think that still should talk about his talent.
Rank, I believe 3 weeks ago we were talking about the Chargers when they were 5-6, or maybe it was before.
It was 5-6.
5-6. You said that they would beat the Cardinals and the Raiders and lose to the Dolphins. I said that they were going to lose to the Cardinals, beat the Raiders, and beat the Dolphins, and then choke the rest of the way. What do you think is going to happen from here on out?
I think I want to say this because I feel like the Chargers could be a scary team in the playoffs, and they just have never been able to get there.
Now is the time.
Now's the time to do. I think just because the Jets have been faltering a little bit, Mike White got hit a lot yesterday. He got hit a lot. He's hurt. I'm not sure.
Shout out,
Yeah.
when he left the game twice for ribs and came, and then after the game, left in an ambulance.
Full respect for him.
I wouldn't even
so much
call
respect.
the Jets. We can get into this later. I don't call the Jets faltering. It's just they run into brick walls.
Oh yeah. It's just.
Yeah.
But and the Patriots, I don't fully trust. I think the Chargers will find a way to get in the playoffs, and I think they're going to be a dangerous team to play in the playoffs.
I think now they kind of have to because Titans, Colts, Rams, Broncos. If they can't get into the playoffs now, I think all hope is lost for this team.
And they have a first-round matchup as the 7th seed against either the Bills or the Chiefs. And if I was the Bills and Chiefs, I don't want to play the Chargers.
I mean, I wouldn't mind playing the Chargers, but especially if I'm the Chiefs because you own that franchise. But they have to make the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Titans, Colts, Rams, Broncos. They win at least. They got to win at least 2,
I think they'll
right?
find a way to make the playoffs.
They win 2 of those games to get in. It's just the Jets have they've run into a wall.
Little side topics. We were all texting about the other day, and Rank, I want you to stay on the show. Your thoughts. So that Chiefs Broncos game. Okay, you know what? I'll be objective here. It was like watching it because we were watching because we wanted to see how Jerry Jeudy was doing. Shout out to the hat trick.
Yeah, Liam.
Literally had his best fantasy performance of the year when Liam needed it the most.
I need to take a moment. Mr. Jerry Jeudy, if you're listening, I know we've been through our ups and downs this entire fantasy season. I'll admit, I was not the best manager. I didn't perform as well as I could have this season, and I think, you could say the same for some of your performances. But when we needed it most, we came together and we clutched up. 33.4 points in my flex, 3 touchdowns. Anytime you're in Philly, man, listen, cheesesteaks on me. I'll buy you a drink. I just want to say thank you, and I really appreciate you. I'm good.
No, that was awesome to hear. But it did look like the Broncos had some momentum, and let's put a little bit of context in there. They picked off Mahomes a couple times to give Russell Wilson good field position. But
he converted on it.
That's what's important. See that he did convert on it, but the backup had to come in and he threw a tutty. But actually, I don't even know how Russell Wilson. I don't know if you saw the play, but when they showed him lying on the ground, it did not look like there was any life in his eyes. It looked scary. The concussion, it had to have been concussion. Hoping that he's okay. And this is kind of what I was talking about last week. Obviously a concussion is hopefully not a long-term thing that he has to deal with, but you don't want I don't know. If the stakes aren't there, I don't know. But that being said, what does this show you, Sean?
It shows me they have talent. They have the ability to do it. They played well. Russell Wilson had 250 yards passing, 3 touchdowns and a pick. 57 yards rushing. I don't know. I feel like there's a running back and a good coach away. They showed heart and fight, which I had not seen from the Broncos all year. They scored the most points all year. My God.
And they still lost.
Yeah, it's a good Chiefs team. I don't know. I was impressed.
I'm surprised that they were able to hang in there versus the Chiefs. But this just shows, again, defense has carried them all season.
Yeah.
You pick off Mahomes 3 times. You allow Russell Wilson to have good field position.
That's all you can ask them to do. That's really all you can.
You still can't get the win.
That's all you can ask of your defense
Yeah.
versus Mahomes. Pick him off and
The Broncos defense supposed to give 27 points in the first half. You could ask for a little
Well,
more than
they
a
also
couple picks.
aided
in
by
the second half.
aided by 2 picks as well on the Broncos
And
side.
I don't think
Yeah, it was only 1 pick in the first half.
No, but the defense didn't necessarily give it up. There was a pick six.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bad pick six.
Yeah,
from
that
Russell.
was for us. I don't know. I still think there's problems on this Broncos team.
Obviously.
Well, and Ray,
And
you were saying
it's-
last week that when the defense is kind of, for lack of better words, I don't know the term, but when they're screwed over by by Russell Wilson's 3 and outs. Weren't you saying the other week, you kind of give them a break, you got to put a little asterisk on on that first couple
I agree.
points.
I agree.
I just think I'm not in the locker room, but I think there's something intangible there because this team obviously has talent, but there's more than that.
I think this team rallied around how Russ played yesterday with his rushing yards, his passing yards.
Maybe
the
they
way
should
he
have gone
gave
to
the
his
hits.
birthday party then.
Apparently, that's a way overblown. People are talking about how it's not that crazy to have that people show.
Come on, man.
Why are you defending him?
Come on.
Why are
Okay, you know what? If Danny
Russ?
Dimes has a birthday party, everyone's gonna be there.
That's true.
Everyone's
if
gonna be
Mike White had a birthday party,
If
the whole
Geno
team's
Smith
there.
has a birthday
Yeah.
party, dude, everyone will
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will be there.
Let's move on. We got other stuff to talk about. Let's go.
All right, let's
Championship picks.
championship picks.
Last time this year, AFC championship picks. Let's go around. We'll go AFC, NFC, and then we'll talk about our Super Bowl picks, what we had at the beginning of the year and what we're updating with now.
Let's start with AFC.
AFC championship game picks. Liam, you can start it off.
I get to start it off.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to be that boring guy and pick Bills Chiefs, but
I want to do that too.
I don't know. I just unless Joe Burrow can beat the Chiefs again for the fourth straight time in his career, I can't really see that happening. I'm gonna go Bills Chiefs, but this is the Bills year. This is the year they make it to the Super Bowl. I'm taking Bills over Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
Mike, you want to go with me? Okay. So I'm just gonna, for simplicity's sakes, take it if the current playoff picture, if the playoffs, started today, and I think in the AFC more than the NFC. Maybe no surprise for this comment. I think it's going to come down to who plays who, versus who's the better team. And let me just do a little scenario assessment here. Chargers, Chiefs, Dolphins. Dolphins at Ravens. I'll take Dolphins.
So that means the next matchups would be Bills, Dolphins, Chiefs,
Dolphins, Chiefs.
versus whoever.
Bengals or
Chiefs,
Titans.
Bengals.
Bills,
So-
Dolphins, Chiefs, Bengals. Bills, Dolphins, Bills, Chiefs, Bengals.
That's the kicker.
Yeah.
I don't think Burrow's
yeah,
going to get it done.
I'm going to say Burrow keeps
wanna-
having the Chiefs number. I'm going to say Bills, Bengals.
Who you got?
But Bengals
you
will
got?
not be getting back to the Super Bowl again. It's going to be it's Josh Allen's year.
Bills over Bengals.
That's such a vanilla take, but
I mean,
So you both have Bills in the thing. All right.
I want to throw the Dolphins in there, but
Let's have some fun.
I would love to see the Dolphins. I think their offense if they could explode on a team.
Dolphins
they
over. No, Tua's not that good. Tua's not been playing well recently. I wouldn't have much trust in Tua. Yeah, whatever.
explode on it.
I have Bengals
explode
over
anyway.
Titans, Dolphins over Ravens. I think the Chargers will upset the Chiefs. Let's just have some fun.
I like that.
Fun, baby.
Throw the
Chargers,
Chargers in there, man. Come
Chargers, Bills. They were my pick going into the year. Bengals, Dolphins.
Come on. Oh wait, if it's Chargers Bills, then yeah.
Chargers, Bills.
It's tough to do.
Bengals, Dolphins. I think Bengals get there. Chargers. Want to go Bengals over Chargers.
No.
Let's throw some
Oh my
spice into
God.
this.
Chargers are upsetting the Bills.
Sin City.
Will that have happened by the time we come back?
I don't fully know, but potentially, yeah.
Wow.
You know what's crazy is that I like that take, Sean, but the Chargers could miss the playoffs,
Oh,
which
they
is
could.
absolutely absurd. I like that pick, though.
I really do.
All right, NFC Championship picks. Liam, let's start it off. Do you want the matchups? Do you want to go matchup by matchup? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
I have 'em. Okay.
Okay.
Bucks, Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Niners, Redskins.
Ooh.
Go Skins.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride Taylor Heineke that game. I think the Niners defense is just gonna, they've been really good this season, but I think they're just gonna have a lapse against Taylor. Terrific.
Giants, Vikings. Or if you feel crazy, you throw the Seahawks in that spot or the Lions.
Throw the Lions.
Lions over the Vikings.
Lions over the Vikings.
Oh yeah.
All right, next matchups: Eagles, Lions, Commanders, Cowboys.
Birds, boys.
Birds, boys.
And then birds.
Birds over boys.
Birds over the boys.
Birds over the boys.
All right, Truett.
I'm gonna leave it the way it is. As far as who's in. Dallas over Tampa Bay. I'm doing what I think is gonna happen. I'm gonna go Niners. And I'm gonna take Giants. Shout out Rank.
Okay, so now we got Eagles, Giants, Niners, Cowboys.
Oh my God! I really hope this doesn't happen. I'm gonna have to root for a tie for Eagles, Niners. Wait, it was Niners Cowboys, right?
Niners, Cowboys, yeah.
Niners, Cowboys, Eagles, Giants.
You know what? I want to see an NFC East matchup in the championship game. I'm gonna go Eagles, Cowboys. Now, do I want the Cowboys to win? Yes. Do I think they're gonna win? No. It's so vanilla, but Eagles.
God.
Birds over boys.
I hope
Make your
I'm
own
wrong.
picks.
Let's have
Is that actually what you chose?
Yes.
let's have some fun. Cowboys over Bucks. No joke. Niners over Commanders. That was fun.
Come on, this is obvious.
I want to hear you pick the Vikings over your own team.
You can't do that.
Giants over Vikings.
Good. The fraud Vikings.
Eagles beat us. Niners beat the Cowboys. Niners beat the Birds.
Wow.
Jimmy Garoppolo's back.
So
you see, like, the problem, though? Like, obviously, I'll be completely honest with you guys. The reason that I'm so high on the Niners this year is because they're the only team in this conference standing between a Birds-Cowboys NFC Championship game and one of those teams going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I just can't do it. That's like true. The same thing as, like, one team standing in the way of, like, a Rams-Niners NFC Championship
That was
game.
last year.
I know, and
That
you
was
hated
terrible.
it. When you, like, I have to root for the Niners because the Niners are the only team standing in the way between that.
You know, I'm never gonna say this again. If it's Eagles Niners, I'll root for the Niners.
Yeah.
I really just don't want to see the Eagles do well.
I just want to throw this out there. So everybody had the Vikings losing in the first round. Interesting.
Who would they play if the Vikings won? They wouldn't play the Eagles. They'd play
the Cowboys or the They'd play the Niners probably because Niners beat the Commanders.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I think Niners take that.
Great. So based on those picks,
All right, so going into the Super Bowl picks, going into this year, Truett had the Bills over the Rams. Pretty chalk
This is going.
Going into the year, you had Bills over Rams.
Did not see the Rams falling off.
Not doing too well there. I had Chargers over Vikings. Both my teams still involved, still fighting. Liam had Bills Birds.
ooh,
Bills finally breaking through and beating the Birds. Liam, are you gonna keep the pick?
Of course, I'm gonna keep my pick. Of course, I am. You know, I'm kind of a savant when it comes to stuff like this.
Oh my God!
And I was looking at my crystal ball at the beginning of the season, and this is what I saw. I saw Josh Allen finally getting Buffalo that Super Bowl trophy. Yeah, I'm excited for Josh Allen to finally bring it home.
Truett, you have Bills Birds also. Who's winning this one?
No, he had Bills over the Rams.
Whoa, not anymore.
Yeah, now you have Bills over
Birds.
Bengals and you have Birds over Boys.
Just gonna
So
copy
Bills
me?
Birds Super Bowl.
God, make your own picks, man.
Yeah. Feeling harassed. He's due. He's a great QB. He's versatile. He's attractive. We're going Josh Allen and the Bills. Shout out Buffalo. They're going to be breaking a lot of tables. The day of the Super Bowl, mark my words, you will not be able to go buy tables at your local grocery store. They will not be selling them in fear of what would happen.
All right, I got Bengals Niners in the Super Bowl.
Oy.
Oh my gosh. Don't say it, Ray.
Like when you look at this matchup, it's just breaking down this matchup real quick.
Oh my god.
The 49ers pass rush with the bad Bengals offensive line. Joe Burrow is going to be on his butt the entire game. I don't see how they give Paul the victory. I got 49ers over the Bengals.
Can you just become a Niners fan already?
I think the Niners get too disrespected, and I try to just.
Are you attracted to Jimmy G? Is that what it is?
Be
I mean, we
honest.
all are, but
Be
like,
honest.
I think
No comment. It's gonna be a fun playoff.
Oh,
I agree.
Now we got to do Monday night.
Monday Night
picks.
Football
Monday Night
picks,
picks.
real quick, so we can talk about everything else.
Pats -2.5 at the Cardinals. I think we should just preview this before they go. I think we should keep doing picks throughout the rest of the
Yes,
season. We'll
yeah,
post our picks on Twitter, and we'll see if Liam or True can catch me. Pats -2.5 at the Cardinals.
I didn't like the way you phrased
What do we
that.
got, Rank?
I have Cardinals. Cardinals are covering. Cardinals are winning.
what was
I
outright.
think Cardinals win outright.
Yeah, because I need the Chargers to keep that playoff spot, and the Patriots when they get into that playoff spot right now. So I think Cardinals are going to win outright against the Pats tonight.
Truett, who you got?
I honestly, just because of their lack of relevance, I really don't know like much about this Cardinals team, and I don't even really fully understand what's factoring into their lack of success.
The new Call of Duty just dropped.
Oh, that could be it. Yeah.
He's had a month.
It depends on whether last time was a Call of Duty night or not. I'll go Pats just to fade Rank. I don't really know. I'm so indifferent about this game. To be honest.
I don't want to pick the same as you, Rank, because I like fading you, but I don't want to see the Pats win this game. So I'm gonna go Cards. Cards win.
Cool. All right.
Let's. We have a quick shout out from one of our sponsors, and then we will get into some MLB, so I can talk about Xander for years and years. NBA, Nova basketball, and then we will unfortunately leave you for the rest of the calendar year. But first, the St. David's annual Christmas pageant is a beloved tradition that has been performed for decades, featuring adults and children from the church, as well as live animals. The mission is to provide the children of our parish with a memorable experience regarding the traditional Christmas story. The St. David's annual Christmas pageant will take place Sunday at 11:30 a.m. A second pageant showing will take place on Monday, December 19th at 7 p.m. Both services will be available via live stream. I know I'll be streaming that. The St. David's Episcopal Church is located at 763 South Valley Forge Road in Wayne. That's 763 South Valley Forge Road in Wayne. Now, MLB, I know it's the offseason, but wow, what a week this was.
As I can't say this word. I can't. As Drake once said, and I quote, "I ain't messing with you broke boys." That's how I feel right now. And I think, Sean, you feel
Yeah,
pretty
absolutely.
similarly?
I feel like a Yankee fan right now. I feel like a Yankee fan back when the Yankees used to spend money. Steve Cohen. There's a stat today, my favorite stat of all time. You ready for this one, Liam? Steve Cohen is paying Scherzer and Verlander a combined $86 million this year. Do you know how many days it took Steve Cohen last year to make that much money?
10?
11 days.
11 days?
In
Yeah.
11 days that year, Steve Cohen made $86 million. I think he could afford spending those 11 days on those two of the best pitchers in baseball and on the most dominating pitching staff in baseball. I don't think we've ever seen something like this. Verlander, Scherzer, Senga, Quintana, Carrasco, McGill,
Peterson.
Woo! And they're not done yet. Correa or Devers will be a Met by the end of the week. Mark my words.
I just like, we've never had this before in our life.
No.
There was a clip I saw yesterday of Brody Van Wagen, our former GM before Epler, after the Mets signed Jed Lowry, telling the rest of the NL East to come get us. Now, put that in context. Jed Lowry, we signed him to a 3-year contract, didn't play a single game.
Nope.
Not a single one. Now I think the NL East, come get us. Swanson's about to leave the Braves for the Dodgers. Obviously, the Phillies got better. I believe they underperformed severely last season. I still think, with the Mets pitching, they got David Robinson out of the pen, Brooks Rowley too. Pen's looking pretty decent right now. We get one or two more arms.
Mm-hmm.
We need one more bat, and boom, this
Yep.
team is actually crazy. Highest payroll ever.
This leads me to my trivia question about the payroll. Their luxury tax bill is $76.2 million. That is higher than 6 teams' actual payroll. Can you name the 6
Is
teams?
it like the Pirates? Like
Pirates are one, yeah.
Pirates, A's, Nationals.
Yep. Nope, not Nationals.
Marlins.
Nope. Pirates, A's.
Cubs.
Nope.
Rockies.
Nope.
Who is Diamondbacks?
Nope. Pirates, A's. Come on, some other teams.
Orioles.
Yeah, Orioles.
Who are just garbage teams? What? How many are we at?
You have Pirates, A's, Orioles. You're forgetting a couple big ones. Yeah, Rays.
Trying to think of some out west teams now. The Reds.
Yep.
Yeah.
The last one. Middle of the country.
Middle of the country. Not sure. Minnesota.
Nope.
The Twins. No. The Guardians.
Kansas City Royals.
Oh, I forgot about the Royals.
Are those a team?
Irrelevant.
Yep. That's absolutely insane.
Gentlemen, I want you to pump the brakes on all the you're talking about all your money. Well, let me introduce you to Mr. Peter Seidler and the bags that they were throwing out at these guys. Now, not everyone took our bags.
Yeah.
I think you guys are being used.
Not everyone took our bags.
Just use the pod.
Used.
Used. Well,
You guys were used to get bigger paydays for their guys.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, that just kind of screws over other teams. I mean, let's talk about the Trey Turner.
That hurt.
That hurt a little bit. I'm glad that he's out. He's gone from the Dodgers, so we don't have to play him. So many times a year. But I mean, I saw like a lot of things on Twitter about like he just wanted to play in Philly.
Oh,
Sure,
God.
instead of LA. Sure.
Who would
Sure.
want to play in Philly?
I know, you're speaking.
Something wrong with him.
You're preaching the choir, man. But turned down a $342 million contract from the Padres for $300 million, but quite a bag. And then we were throwing $400 million at Judge, which is crazy. And I'm kind of I'm glad he went back to the Yankees because playing him, if he was on the Giants would have sucked. But at the end of the day, we got Xander Bogaerts. 11 years, $280 million. R.I.P. to you Red Sox fans. Will McKeon, if you're listening, I hope you're having a good day. But my question for you guys, obviously this is a win-now move because I think the first half of this contract is going to look good and then the second half is going to look really bad, considering it's 11 years and he's 30. Before this move, where did you see us like top like blank in the league for teams, and now where do you see us?
Honestly, if you guys can go out and get
Another pitcher.
Yeah.
We just lost
you guys can
Manea.
get-
We lost Clevenger and Manea.
if you guys can somehow get on the market for Carlos Rodon, I could see you seriously competing with the Dodgers. If the Dodgers don't get Swanson or Correa, because if the Dodgers do that, and they probably will, again they're looking at a 110+ win season.
Did the Dodgers throw like a lot of money at Turner?
I don't think they even threw money at
I
him.
didn't even hear anything.
I think they
about
just
that.
assumed that he was gone.
Really.
To answer your question, Truett, I think going into the offseason, the Padres were probably 7th. Look at that the last wild card spot. And I think still, just because of what other teams have done, you're looking at the 7th wild card spot. The Braves have not done anything, so the Braves could fall down to that spot. But I don't see you compete with the Dodgers personally.
I think they could, but the
Even
thing
after
is,
we little boyed them in the playoffs.
the thing is, you guys barely made the playoffs. Same with the Phillies. You snuck in, but you were missing your best player, Tatis.
Yeah, and
Well,
I guess Machado's your
coming
best player.
yeah,
But
if you look at this
Tatis is the best
lineup
player.
now, so you
Tatis.
throw Xander at the shortstop.
Yep.
You throw Kim because I know they really like Kim. They're going to put him at second.
Yep.
Put Crone at first because we're not re-signing Drury or Bell, and Will Myers are still all free agents. Those were all our first basemen. You move Tatis to the outfield, but I think they really want to keep Grisham at center field because he was
Left.
really good there. So now you have Profar and Soto. So one of them has to be DH.
DH Soto.
I think DH Soto.
Yeah.
And you throw Tatis at right and Profar at left. And now in your lineup you have Machado, Tatis, Soto, and Xander. And
Austin Nola behind the plate.
then Nola behind the plate.
Dude,
and
it's
you
just-
have Profar leading off again, and maybe keep Kim in there.
It's just pitching. You guys.
It's really pitching,
Yeah.
and we still have after all the money we've been throwing out, $20 million a year for Musgrove is looking pretty good right now.
Dude, that great contract.
Yeah.
Snell and Snell and Darvish still there. We did lose. Like I wasn't really too attached to Clevenger and Manea, but if we can get a couple more guys, Nick Martinez is still there. Josh Hader looked like he was turning around. I think just a couple more starting pitchers. And I'm going to disagree with you, Rank. Yeah. I think, especially I think all these games, obviously they're already competitive games with the Dodgers, but after what we did to them, I think it's gonna be very competitive, and it's gonna be a grudge match every single time. And I think there's a couple series that we take from them.
It's possible. I just think the Dodgers are just a really good team. A really good regular season team. They always find ways to win the games.
Yeah. Now, if they get those signings,
I think if you guys get Rodon, I really think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But you're not getting Rodon. Rodon's going to the Yankees.
I mean, the Padres. If he wants to pitch in San Diego, the Padres are going to pay him.
Yeah,
the Padres will pay him.
Well, and no Trey Turner, so that takes out one of your big bats.
But he's gonna be replaced by someone.
You think so?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Belly's gone. Not that that really matters too much.
That's good for the Dodgers.
Jeez.
But I don't know. We say it every year, Rank. I think the Mets are primed this year. I mean, technically
the Braves have gotten worse.
Technically, the Mets really haven't. All they've done is replace people. However, I think Senga for Walker is such a big upgrade.
Oh yeah,
much better contract too. We get an extra year for the same amount of money. He signed Nimmo, came into his own.
They're changing the schedule this year to the fact that we only play division games. You each play the division teams 13 times instead of 19 times.
That's huge for us.
And it's the perfect year to do it because
huge for us too.
The NL East is the only division. No, you're playing the Giants.
Diamondbacks, Rockies. Those are
chalk up wins every year. The NL East is the hardest division in baseball. The only division in baseball that cares apparently about winning, and not having to play them as much is amazing.
I don't know. I think we're one bat away, maybe an arm in the pen away from really being.
And I think Correa or Devers would be a bet.
If we got Devers third,
I want third.
I want Devers more than Correa, but
I would take either.
Yeah, Stevie has shown too.
Why not both?
He'll do whatever it takes. Shout out to Aaron Judge.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what do you think about the Judge contract?
I love it. I think he should be a Yankee for life. As much as I would love to see Yankee fans suffer, I think it's only right that he spends the rest of his career as a captain on that team. He really embodies New York. He's a great guy.
Quick question about the captain thing. So someone was saying the other day that captains in the MLB more than any other sport is very big deal.
Yeah.
So what does that really Elaborate a little bit for me.
You got to be long tenured on the team, great leader, great locker room guy, and you have to have all the fan support, show your loyalty. It basically means you're going to be on that team for life. Lifelong commitment. It's not like
does every team have a captain?
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't think Vegas have a captain.
If you had to estimate how many captains do you think there are right now in the MLB? Just rough estimate. You don't have to look it up.
I don't know. I don't think there's a whole lot because of what's been going on, in the MLB, especially with money now,
turnover and everything.
Yeah, people just hop teams. I don't think there's a lot of captains.
Would Kershaw
as
be a
the
captain?
2021 season, there are no MLB teams with designated captains.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
The two most recent guys are Adrian Beltre and David Wright, Rangers and Mets.
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to ask about the Mets, yeah.
And I honestly...
Nimmo might get it.
I think Nimmo...
Yep.
I could see in maybe 2 or 3 years, I could see Lindor. I could see Pete. I could see McNeil. I could see any of these guys on the Mets if they're long tenured. And you know what is absolutely perfect? As soon as Scherzer and Verlander end their contracts, guess who's up for contract that year? Pete Alonso.
Yeah. I like how the Mets are doing short-term contracts. It's lock us in anything. We have flexibility going in the future.
Yeah, the Verlander was short.
So is Scherzer's. They're both short deals.
And it's win now. We allow we have a absolute stud of a farm system. Mm-hmm. Allow those guys to develop. In 2 years' time, we're not going to miss a beat.
Nope. It's lovely.
Very happy right now.
I'm glad.
Do you want to switch over to some NBA talk?
Yes, we have a lot of NBA we got to talk about before the show ends.
Can we first give a quick shout out to Zion Williamson, the Pelicans?
Would love to. Number 1 in the West.
Absolutely.
My God, he is healthy again and playing really well.
Shout out to that team. 7-game win streak, 9-1 in their last 10, and absolutely just throttling the Suns. Throwing haymakers. That Zion dunk at the end of the game as time's running out for absolutely no reason. Does that reverse windmill or something like that? Crazy.
And you know what? I loved the storylines between those two games they played.
Yeah.
You know, they brought up that clip of Chris Paul, you know, I'm going to say acting like he didn't know Jose Alvarado's name, you know, maybe as a sign of disrespect. And Alvarado took it seriously. And then there was the elbow and Zion. I love how he said in the post, like, because there's so many young players who just screw up in post-game interviews that I don't get it. But Zion's like, you know, I wasn't out there in the court, but saw what happened to my brothers. Like, that was for them. And I totally respect everything the Pelicans are doing. I think this is awesome.
Totally agree. Very happy for the Pels. And I think... Do we all have them in our top 4 in the West? I think we might have.
I don't think I did.
I know I definitely did.
I did as well. I know I did. But
I love the Pelicans.
We all projected them to be good this season, and they're finally actually being who we thought they should be.
I love like the way their roster is developed. You have, you know, Zion, Brandon, and CJ are all averaging above 17 a game. You know, Valanciunas, you know what he can do, and he's got spacing. Trey Murphy is disgusting, dude. That dunk was crazy.
Trey Murphy, Herb, Jose Alvarado.
Those three right there, like, you know, they're not like the type of players that it reminds me of, like players on that Mavs championship team. Those three in particular, just like dogs that
incredible
role
players.
Role players. Obviously, like Dirk didn't have, you know, the BI and CJs, but like for the rest of the roster, you know, Larry Nance he had a disgusting dunk the other day.
Incredible rebounder. Him and Valanciunas, it's all they do. Jackson Hayes has been bad. Their rookie Dyson Daniels has been good, and they have Devontae Graham. They got veteran leadership on their bench.
Yeah, how is Dyson Daniels doing?
I mean, from what I've seen, he's been pretty okay. I mean, he's not getting a whole lot of time just because
naturally
there's guys in front of him. But you know, I just think the way that the team's constructed and the way that they just play so intense. It's awesome to watch. A really fun team to watch.
This doesn't really, it doesn't have like a lot to do with their success, but it's more of just like a long-term thing. What's going on with Jackson Hayes?
I have no idea. I don't think it really matters.
Played 9 games, hasn't started games, averaging a point, you know, in 7 minutes in those 9 games. Like, I thought he was he was in the AD trade, right? I thought he was going to, at the time he was drafted, Steven Adams was there. I thought it was going to be like a natural transition. You go out and get Valanciunas. I was still kind of waiting for Jackson Hayes to become the starter eventually. Not that it really matters, I guess.
No, he just doesn't have the potential. A lot of bust guys.
Now he's got Trey and Herb in front of him. Like,
yeah. Well, and he's, you know, Willie Hernangomez is getting more minutes and more games.
Zion can play the center. Like, they don't need him.
And shout out to Willie Green, who's, I think, early candidate for Coach of the Year.
Totally.
Mm-hmm. Totally one of them.
You know, and these guys are just outside of CJ. CJ's, I mean, we know what CJ can do. He's going to find his way. But Zion, Ingram, and Valanciunas in particular are just incredibly efficient. Mm-hmm. Like, Zion's efficiency is like LeBron-type Miami Heat efficiency. 60 and 35. Ingram, 47 and 46. Crazy.
I mean, you just can't stop Zion. He gets downhill. He's literally unstoppable.
He looks like he's leaner. He's in better shape.
He can fly.
It's great for the sport. And it, honestly, it makes me a little angry that, and rightfully so, because of all the time he missed. You know, we all talk about Tatum, Luka, Ja, Giannis. I think throw Zion's name in there. You know, like this kid, like, yeah, he's not taking a lot of threes. He's taking less than 1 a game, so you can kind of invalidate his 3-point percentage there. But, I mean, he is just, like, he's a force in the league, and, you know, assuming he gets better over time, I think we need to add him to that conversation of young guys that are going to run this league.
I think, you know, Tatum, Luka, Giannis, Zion, the league's in great hands.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. Ja, I want to talk about the Grizzlies for a little bit because they've been rolling too.
1 and 2.
They've been. I mean, I love this. There's parity. There's new teams that are up and coming.
Definitive youth movement going on.
Exactly. And, you know, the Grizzlies, like the Pelicans, have dogs on that team. Yep. They've been playing really well.
Shout out Desi.
Yeah,
25 a game. Very quiet. I don't think anyone's talking about how he's averaging 25
and
a
he's
game.
been hurt. He's been hurt
Yeah.
this season too. But they're just the thing about these teams. They're just whooping up on the teams that they should beat, and they're getting good wins too. It's really exciting to see. I love this youth movement.
Let me tug on Desi a little bit more. 25, 5, and 5.
Wow.
On 46, 45, and let me remind you that 45% from 3 is on 9 attempts a game.
That's crazy. Absurd.
Like
volume.
this, like could he? I'm trying to phrase this correctly. Could he be a number 2 option on a team that goes to the conference finals?
Yes, 100%.
Definitively.
100%.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
Jaron
He
has
can
missed
be.
a lot of time too.
They probably need a third option on that team to
Is
get over the
Jaron
hump.
good enough?
He's a
Jaron and
defensive guy.
Jaron
Yeah.
and Dylan Brooks are both averaging
That's
around
true.
18 a
Dylan
game.
Brooks has been really
Yeah.
sneakily
Their
great
play
for them.
combined could be that third
I
option.
think they could add another shooter or two.
Yeah, and the thing about the Grizzlies is too they play defense. They play
Yeah.
hard.
Mm-hmm.
And my dog, Steven Adams.
Yeah, he
My oaf down there.
best offensive rebounder in the entire league this season. I think he
Not
averaged
just this season.
4.9 a game.
He's
almost,
been this way for a minute,
yeah,
bro.
almost 5 offensive rebounds a game. That's absurd. Absolutely absurd when you're getting guys like Ja and Desmond extra touches.
Don't play him in clutch time though. He's averaging 29% from the free throw line.
God.
Oh my God.
Hacking Adams, Hacka Steve. Behind them, you got the Nuggets. I don't think that's really surprised that they were going to be better this
How's
year.
Jamal Murray done? I haven't watched any.
He hit
Nuggets.
that crazy game winner versus
Dagger
Dame.
game winner versus Dame.
It's good to see him back.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, for sure.
How's MPJ been? I haven't kept up with him at all this
Couldn't
season.
tell you. Let's look at his stats, but I haven't seen anything from the eye test.
Yeah. So we got Nuggets, Suns, and then the Beam team. The Kings slot in at the number 5 seed.
Just
team, I
keep
love
rolling.
The Blazers right
They've
behind
gotten
them.
500 in the past 10, so a little slowing down, but still finding ways to win
And
games.
The Warriors have picked it up.
Yeah, they have.
It's been
Steph's
good
playing
to see.
well. Clay's playing a lot better.
Yeah, I think I owe Clay a little bit of apology. I slandered in the beginning of the year. These past 3 weeks, he's been balling, and
Yeah.
I'm happy for him. It's good to see.
Let me just add a little bit on the Nuggets. So to answer your question, MPJ 16 and 6 on 46-42,
That's
7
not
threes a
bad.
game.
It's not bad at all.
But as a team collectively, how can you tell me a little mini trivia? How many players do they have averaging double figures?
Jokic, MPJ, Jamal.
Will Barnes on the team?
Aaron
Gordon's doing it.
Aaron Gordon.
Is that it?
There's
No.
probably a 6. I'd say 6.
5 guys?
7.
7 guys.
Add Bones at 14.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
Bruce
Bones.
at 10, and KCP at 11.
And I got to give a shout out to John Drozdick, who is a huge Nuggets fan. He said Bruce Bowen was going to be one of the most underrated pickups this season. He had a dagger 3 for him the other day.
10 on 48-40 splits. That is good contribution
Right off
there.
the bench?
Yep.
I mean,
He's
Nuggets
been
are
starting a little bit too.
Nuggets could get one more guy at the trade deadline. I think they could be primed in a position to win the West. They're a good team.
They are.
They're really good.
It's
They're
good
very
to
good
see
team.
Aaron Gordon because
Yeah.
he was not good his first year. 61-40 splits, 3 attempts a game like that. This is just an efficient team right here.
I have a question about the Clippers.
What's going on?
Kawhi not playing? Is Kawhi healthy? Is Kawhi hurt? Like, what the heck? What is going on
I
with
don't
Kawhi?
understand because I see him hitting game winners.
Yeah,
and
he had a game winner yesterday.
Another one?
No, the other day ago, whatever it was.
The Hornets. It was his first game back.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
dude, I don't know. He's played 8 games, and in those 8 games, 11 points a game. I mean, yes, he's only played 25 minutes on average in those
I
games.
don't get it.
I don't know because there's like 2 schools of thought here. When he was on the Raptors, and he was doing his load management. A, I don't think it was to this degree.
No.
B, when
Not
he
at
did
all.
play, I mean, he was dominating, and so you're like, you know what, we will take it, and obviously that paid off. This is like he ramped up the load management and lowered the production. I don't know what's going on. As someone that owns literally their entire future in picks, I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie, I'll be completely transparent here.
They're still a playoff team. They're still going to get a top 6 seed, I think.
Do you think they're doing?
I think they could be back to the play-in tournament.
Do you think they're doing a thing where like they just coast and hope their kind of second unit can outlast the Kings, the Blazers, the Warriors, and sneak into a top 6 seed and then
I wouldn't be trying to outlast the Warriors.
I mean, well, you can outlast the Kings and the Blazers.
Yeah, I think they could find
And
a
then
way to stay in
Sneak
that
into
spot.
a 6 seed and then boom, Kawhi and PG playoff run. They just like go ham.
I
Yeah.
think Clippers Warriors will finish in that 5-6 spot. And yeah, I think they'll go ham then.
Yeah.
Shout out John Wall in his return to Big Washington. He was looking good.
The Clippers team is just weird. I want to talk about the Mavericks for a little bit. Go
off, King.
I can confidently say the Mavs would be maybe a bottom 3 team in the West without Luka. Luka didn't play the other night against a Bulls team that has been struggling mightily. They lost by 30.
Wow.
It was pathetic.
I really don't like when people call Luka a ball hog.
They call Luka ball hog
because he literally has to do that for them to win.
he has to drop 30, 10, and 8 for them to win.
I think
It's pathetic.
I think the problem is when people call him a ball hog is he plays like James Harden did on the Rockets, which isn't a bad thing because that's how they had you to win games. But they just play very similar in those ways, and James Harden got criticized a lot more than Luke ever did. I think that's what people's complaints about it are.
Yeah, Luka's also only, 20...
Oh yeah,
24, I believe. They just the problem is they have no definitive second option.
No.
At least the Rockets had, Eric Gordon who could score. He could score.
Spencer did what he could score.
Luka Doncic is on pace to.
It's just
I don't want to say shatter, but he will set the highest usage rate in NBA history by like 4%.
they just don't have anybody
They don't.
else.
They need to fix that problem now.
I don't get it because
You pick up Kemba, but what is he doing in the G League?
I mean, it's Kemba. Like
They got interest in Derrick Rose.
the man's so.
DeMar, can you trade for DeMar
Listen
DeRozan?
to what we're talking. Derrick Rose and Kemba.
No,
bro?
but DeMar, the Bulls,
DeMar would
the
be
Bulls
huge.
are looking to maybe blow it up.
Yeah, I think a DeMar DeRozan trade.
Which I
would
don't
be
think the
huge.
Bulls should
Personally,
blow it up. But
I think they should.
Personally, I want Bradley Beal. I think that would be great alongside Luka.
hey, the window might be opening. That team looks bad.
But
They've looked bad for years. They haven't traded
I know,
him
but
yet.
they've looked really. They've lost like 9 of the last 10.
just the problem is though, everybody on the Mavs besides Luka is underperforming this year. We watched the Bucks game the other day. Dorian Finney-Smith missed 2
Yeah,
free
that was
throws,
bad.
and they just had such a collapse at the end. Spencer Dinwiddie has not been good this season. Timmy's had to step up because Reggie Bullock's been terrible. Dwight Powell terrible. Maxi Kleber terrible. Josh Green's been the only other solid. I think I hate to say it, I think the Mavs should blow it up because they might actually get a pick this year.
As a
What do you mean?
blow it up. Like
Trade
Luka?
everybody except Luka, Josh Green, Christian Wood, and Dorian Finney-Smith. Nobody on that team needs to stay, in my opinion.
As a Villanova fan, how much is this impacting the Brunson loss? Like, is that bigger than people were talked about, or was it actually
I mean,
not really?
they couldn't pay him the money. They just couldn't do it.
You would be pigeonholing your entire future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, with Brunson on this team, okay, boo-hoo, maybe we're a 7 seed as opposed to, I think, an 8 or 9 this
You
year.
need a second star with Luka.
I want to address
Have me
your
find it.
Beal claim because I do agree with you, Rank. They've been bad for a while, and they've been trying to, I think I'm not going to speak about the Russ thing because you guys know my opinion on that. But you gave up on that. I just don't understand. I guess it is a small market because people just don't really want to go play for the Wizards, which totally understand why. But at what point is this owner going to be like, we need to prep for the future? We can't just we don't even have really good talent. Like Avdia I don't think is going to be a good player. Hashimura, I don't think is going to be a good player. Kuzma is kind of a guy who thinks he's a good player, but he's really not. Porzingis is age-wise, it doesn't make sense to invest any more time and effort into playing him. You just need to blow this up. And what would you give in a package for Beal if you're the GM and you're
That's the problem. The Mavs, the way they've been playing this year, they have no one to trade. They have nobody to trade. Who wants Reggie Bullock and Dwight Powell? Nobody. Those are guys who could pick up off of waivers. Reggie Bullock I think statistically, is the worst three-point shooter in the NBA this season for the volume that he's shooting at.
What you might have to do is you might have to take.
It's going to have to be Josh Green, probably. I don't want to give up Dorian, but I don't know. This team's stuck. The Mavs are stuck right now.
I don't think Bradley Beal's going anywhere.
I don't think so
He
either.
signed a contract with no trade clause this offseason, and the Wizards have been terrible. He does not care about winning.
Yeah.
He does not care about playing basketball. He cares about getting his paycheck and living in D.C.
Now,
And that's really all it is.
one thing I could see.
and hooping, like
Yeah, but like he doesn't care about winning. Like he's you re-sign with the Wizards year after year. Like there's been talks about him being traded, and now he had a chance to go out and sign with another team, and nobody wanted him. And no, not that nobody wanted him. He didn't want to do it. He wanted to take his extra money.
That's a Dame move right there.
He wanted to take the extra money. Exactly.
Move.
He wanted to take the extra money he could by signing with the Wizards because of those rules in place. Take the money, sign no trade clause, and live the rest of his life in D.C.
I could see them getting the Mavs though. They got to make a push for like a Levine or
DeRozan.
DeMar.
Like look at the Bulls because the Bulls are not in the playoff spot. They are not in a playing spot right now. And I think we all know last year the Bulls overachieved based on the team, and
You also
DeRozan
don't have
overachieved.
Lonzo. I think Lonzo as a glue guy is
But when's Lonzo coming back?
Dream scenario.
Nobody knows.
Dream
Exactly.
scenario for the Mavs. They trade a pick and a bunch of other people for Lonzo and DeMar. That's my dream scenario. I don't think that would ever
Or
happen.
Levine.
That would never happen. Or Levine and Lonzo.
Yeah, I think the Bulls overachieved last year. They don't fit great together. I think they should blow it up and
I hope.
try to do something with it. I don't know. They're just going to be, if they keep it running it back, you're continuing mediocrity. In my mind, that's not what you want in the NBA. So
that kills in the
We
NBA.
just gotta look at the Mavs roster. Like, what could they give up to trade? They have nobody that anybody wants. Bertans,
they're taking DeRozan's salary cap. They can take the salaries of DeRozan and
Bullock.
no, but the Bulls just want to get rid of these contracts so they can sign people in the future. So
Maxi Kleber.
send a couple picks and take on the DeRozan contract.
Like, honestly, I'm looking at their salaries right now.
Actually, I think it also depends on
So
what the Bulls
bad.
want to do. Do they want to retool? Like,
No.
would giving Christian Wood and maybe like a Dorian to like, hey, here's some pieces to keep you competitive?
They've been retooling for a while. They retooled getting Vucevic.
Or are they
retooled
blowing
trying to
this
get
up?
DeRozan. You're
What do
blowing it up.
You still got Levine though. That's your
You can't-
franchise right now.
You can't build around. Building around Zach LaVine's not going to win you a
Yeah,
championship.
Yeah.
and they've tried it.
It's not
I
going to
know,
win you a
but
championship.
I don't think they feel that same way. I think they can't feel that same way because
I think-
they have such a commitment to this guy.
I just think the Bulls and the Mavs are in a similar spot right now where they're just stuck. They're
Maybe
stuck with
help
the
each other
roster they
out.
have.
Help each
Yeah,
other
but the Mavs are in a better spot because they have a better player.
Yeah,
By-
and
by
that's
a mile.
the only reason. But I mean, you look at this roster. If Luka's sitting out, I think they might be the worst team in the NBA. I really do. They stink. They stink so bad, and it's tough. It's tough to watch them too with Luka not on the floor. Even on defense, Luka's been a lot better this season. I don't know. We really just need to go out and get someone. Really do. But we have guys like Bertans getting paid $16 million a year. Reggie Bullock $10 million a year. Tim Hardaway $20 million a year. It's upsetting. Dwight Powell $12 million a year. Like, how are these guys getting paid? Mark Cuban, praying for you, man. Help us out a little bit.
I know, but it's not baseball. We can just go and add $40 million to your.
But I believe they have a spot for a max this upcoming offseason. I
So-
believe they have a spot for a
So
max.
don't-
We'll see.
Don't waste it trying to trade for some bad.
I would like.
yeah, do not. Is DeRozan gonna be a free agent?
I don't
No,
know.
he's got 2 more years.
2 more years.
1 year after this, I guess.
Well, you're looking at the free agent class. If you do have this max spot, maybe just I don't know. I would never advertise for wasting a year of Luka's career, but maybe just do minor retools and keep that max slot open for next
Tank.
For Wemby.
Just blow it up. Not for Wemby.
Wemby,
There's no
Luka,
way
and
that
Wemby.
Wemby-
Hey.
If the Mavs got Wemby, oh my
Tank-
God, it would be
tank
craps.
for the. I don't know if we want to speak topics off the NBA, but tank for Cam Whitmore.
Yeah, facts.
Switch topics.
Dude, if he was on the Mavs, that would be
Oh
such
my
a
God.
different team.
He is
That would be perfect compliment
he is
for
the
Luka.
best Villanova player in my lifetime.
Yeah.
He is really good.
So freaking dominant on the court. He hasn't played in 7 weeks in his first 3 games. He's averaging like 20 points a game. His step back threes, like his weakest part
Butter.
of his game was his 3-point shooting. And my God,
It's like butter.
it looks his stroke is so smooth. Like it's so good.
Yeah, he's been an absolute just like shot of adrenaline adrenaline into this
That's
Villanova
a great
team.
way to put it.
Yeah.
Just, even when he's not playing, the team just is playing energized now. Mark Armstrong's been playing pretty well. Shout out to
God.
Chris Arch. He's been playing well these past couple of games, and it's because he has guys.
He went laterally to try and. Hey, I do respect the hustle. What he literally.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when you have this guy out there that is going to be a top, unfortunately, a top 10 NBA pick. It's just
Top 5.
It makes everybody else around him so much better, and we play harder because we know we're in every game. We know we can compete with any team because we have this dude. It's great.
Kid can get up too. He
Yeah.
is bouncy.
But I would love him on the Dallas Mavericks. I think him alongside Luka would be.
The freshman scored 41 out of 77 points.
Jeez.
When have we ever seen freshmen put up these numbers?
At Villanova?
Mark Armstrong with a huge block. He is so athletic. We're running the fast break for the first time ever.
Yeah.
It is so fun to watch. Kent Whitmore can fly. Mark Armstrong can fly. Brendan Housen, when he shoots a three, it's going in.
yeah.
Wet, strappy.
Never. I don't think I've seen another player in college basketball
I
like
want
this.
to shout out to Kyle Neptune too, because I think he could easily, got a little narrow-minded, and like we have to, keep it 100% carbon copy from what Jay Wright did. No fast break, no, playing freshman. But you also just got to look at what you got. You know what I mean, and to what you were saying, the fast breaks. Freshmen are scoring most of our points. Develop your own style, and he's a young guy. He could probably. Empathize and kind of understand that these guys, I have faith in, especially Cam Whitmore. You're not going to practically redshirt him or give him
No.
It's ain't going to be like a Brian Antoine thing.
No.
Great coaching and Housen. That's
Just picture the fast break runs with Mark Armstrong sprinting up the court. He's so fast. You have Whitmore running on his left, cutting in, alley-oop dunk if you want. If not, kick out to Housen.
Yeah.
Bang. Three-pointer.
I do like, too, against Penn, we were at the game, Sean.
Yeah.
Neptune constantly subbing. I like that.
Yeah.
Different guys on the court, different looks. Because you sneak a Housen in there when Brizzy and Arch have been playing, boom, you get an open three. It's going in.
Yeah, and he's talking to Whitmore, making him drive more because we were watching.
Yeah.
All of a
He's gotta be
sudden,
aggressive.
Whitmore got a three-point line, had about 5 feet of space between him and the basket, between him and the defender. Sprinted at the thing, hops up the thing, drew a foul. Like, he's just so strong, so athletic. Like, his dunk the other day against Boston College on the breakaway.
That was
He
crazy.
does. I would love if I had to play devil's advocate, put in a little critique. I have seen him get beat on a lot of backdoors.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, they were getting backdoor cuts against Penn.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
fixed that in the second half.
And
Penn, he-
BC, I saw a couple of them BC.
They ball watch.
He's a young
them.
kid. He's a young kid.
And he's only played 3 games. He's been out for however many
Yeah,
weeks.
6-7 weeks.
Yeah, I don't think that's a thing to worry about.
That's one of those things where knock on wood, I would never want this to happen. But you can't. You're a freshman. You're doing the thing. You can kind of minimize to a degree the level of complete ball movement because you can rely on Cam Whitmore to find his own shot, but don't stray away from the fundamentals of playing amazing defense. Like I didn't like seeing that.
We've been playing better
defensively
defensely since it's past 3 or 4 games since our terrible 2-5 start.
It's a minor thing.
We've been pressing up on
In the grand scheme of the game, it's not that great of.
I agree.
But those little things are flags.
Yeah.
I just think, unfortunately for Villanova, even when we get Justin Moore back, the teams that we're going to play, being UConn, Creighton, Marquette.
We can beat everybody. We can beat Marquette. I'm not worried about Marquette. I'm only worried about Creighton and UConn. The only 2 teams in the Big East I'm absolutely at all worried about.
We are matched up so poorly against UConn.
Well, we're playing them a week and a half.
Yeah.
A little more than 2 weeks. I think it's like the 28th at UConn. It's a game we're penciled to lose. Should
I go to that game?
Yeah, please.
I should.
Yeah.
Why not?
We're written in pen losing that game. It's
obviously, yeah.
We're losing that game. But if we just to show some fight, show some athleticism, I think Whitmore coming back, especially defensively, he's another 6'8" guy in the paint. Obviously Sonogo and
Klingham, yeah,
are so good, so tall.
Stop them,
but we finally have some if Whitmore's not healthy, then you have Slater guarding one of these guys, and that's we don't want that.
I mean, with Dixon, Slater, and Whitmore, we have the size and the strength.
Yeah.
To, at least, compete in the paint against
Exactly.
those guys. But the one thing I do like about Villanova, we've always been team rebounds.
Uh-huh.
That's always been an emphasis.
And we're
but
rebounding better. We're rebounding a lot better recently.
just going against teams like that, it's gonna be really tough. I know we talked last year too in the tournament. If we ever got matched up against Purdue, going up against Edie was gonna be a huge problem. But now that we have Whitmore, I don't,
it's not as big a problem. We have some strength down there.
Liam, I have this is a little bit of a side tangent, and this isn't supposed to expose you, but when we were watching the game, I think you made a comment about how you had wished Slater had taken a bigger step this year.
Yeah.
Especially with Colin and Jermaine not commanding so much of the ball. Do you still feel that way?
shooting wise, yeah. Because
there's a lot left to be desired.
There were points last season where he went on a stretch of 5 games where he was consistently hitting 3 threes a game. It seemed like. Now I don't know. He's not as aggressive as he was last season either.
I wish he would drive.
That's what he's great at. Yeah,
he got downhill, wide open lefty lane, because and that's his bread and butter. Instead of throwing down a monstrous slam, he just kind of laid it.
Even
in.
that, he is a tough finisher in the paint. When he gets in there, he can finish around the rim, but he just hasn't done enough. He just doesn't do enough. I hate when the ball finds his hands. He's taking a 3-pointer. I don't like that. I don't want that offense. That's my biggest problem with him and Arch on the floor together, because they're just 2 black holes offensively.
Yeah, they are. They absolutely are. But I think this team's got some stuff to look forward to this season.
St. Joe's,
gonna be a lot of
St. John's, UConn, a
lot of fun games and absolutely no pressure, which is really nice.
All right, everybody.
Any birthdays, Liam?
Yes, birthdays. And any other trivia?
No trivia.
No.
Birthdays today. We got
Before we do the birthdays, I would like to say, as the last show of the calendar year, I think I speak for all of us when I say that we, truly appreciate the moments, the opportunities we've been provided here to, get on the radio and talk sports, and we very much appreciate all of our listeners for, tuning in every time and listening to us. Just, we're three college students that just love to talk about sports, and the fact that we have a platform for it is just amazing. And shout out to WXVU Villanova and as a whole for gifting us this opportunity every week to just take a break from all the worries and stress that college provides you, and just talk about nothing but sports and get excited about it, have some fun debates and everything like that. We have so much more in store for our God, it's sad to say, our last semester of the show.
Wow.
We have a lot of aspirations. I know Sean and I, we want to eventually do our GOAT debate at some point. It's kind of on the back burner.
First show after break, everybody excited. We have a little worst takes of the football season.
Oh, yeah. So I think we want to do a lot more of those kind of just fun segments. So it's not that we don't love talking, NFL, MLB, NBA, in that order. But we have a lot of back burner ideas, and this is going to be our semester to kind of shovel all those out, and hopefully it's enjoyable for you guys as well. Birthdays. Any birthdays?
Yeah, just one. Basketball legend, kind of an old head, well, very much an old head, Atlanta Hawks legend, Bob Pettit.
Nice.
That's probably a name I haven't heard in a while, but yeah, that's all we got.
Yeah. And happy birthday, Frank Sinatra.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And did he play for the... No, he played for the Celtics.
Feeling like Sinatra. I don't want
R.I.P. to Paul Silas. Just passed the other day. Sorry about that, rank, but that's it's unfortunate.
Okay,
thought we have to. His son is actually the coach of the Rockets. I didn't know that. But as always, again, a giant thank you from everyone, and we look forward to seeing you in 2023.
Keep an eye out. Maybe new times will.
Yeah, it might be new
post on
times.
Twitter.
We got to figure out the scheduling and everything. But we, that's another reason to stay updated with the Twitter, and have a great holidays, safe and happy Christmas. Stay safe this New Year, and as always, watch a lot of sports and have some fun in the locker room.